Okay, so we have a game, and our player can run around and jump and explore, but it needs a bit of danger, doesn't it? It needs to be something that can go wrong when they're running around and exploring. So let's add that now. I'm going to go to Edit Game. First thing I'm going to do is add a danger in the usual way. So I think I'll put some spikes here. Let's click there. This is a new thing. I'm going to create it. Let's go and we're going to pick something to make it from as usual. Blocks maybe. No. Objects. Look at those spikes. Those look scary. That'll do. Good. Okay, I need to make sure I call it spike. Okay, and there we go. Let's have some more of those. Put one there. Maybe we can put a couple here. And maybe some more over here. Oh, I like that. Okay, we'll come back to that. I'll decide where I put them later. Okay, so there are spikes, but at the moment they're not going to do anything. So we need the player to take some damage. So to do that, I'm done cloning spikes. I need to be in arrow mode. I'm going to click the player, edit them, and go to the behaviors. Okay, so at the moment, so what we do here is we need what's called a trigger, and we're going to use this one, collision. Collision means when you hit something, you bang into something. So here we have a collision trigger. Well, not with anything, so we're going to change the type to spike. There we go. So now when the player hits, collides, touches a spike, leave it to any object because we want it to be any of the spikes. Each one's got its own name. We don't care which side of the spike they touch, so that's all fine. So, okay, when the player collides with the spike, something needs to happen. So we need to have, I think we have the idea of health, shall we? So let's come down to logic and maths and add a number. Okay, and let's call this number health. Okay, right, we're going to give our player 3 lives to start with. So they'll start with a health of 3, and when they get to 0, they will die. Okay, so we have a health of 3. Now what we want is we want that health to go down when the player touches a spike. Okay, so what we need to do is make it go down. So we're going to add another number, and we're going to call this one damage. And we're going to set it to -1, so take away 1. Okay, now we need to join these together. So we want the collision to get the number -1, and we want that to be added to the health. So each time the damage that we hit the spike, that will get -1 and add it to the health, which starts at 3, so then it'll go down to 2, then down to 1, and so on. So let's see if it works. We'll just do a little test with the play. Here we go. Here comes the player. Well, if I make them jump, and then ouch! Can you see that went down to 2? 1. 0. Okay, now it keeps going. So we're going to need to do something like that. But also, the player has no way of knowing this. We can see it, so we need to make sure we show them the health. So to do that, we're going to come down to here, and you see GUI. That stands for Graphical User Interface, things that you're going to show to the player. And here we're going to put on a label. Okay, so this label, if we click on it, it's going to start at 3 because that's the player's health. I might change the color, make it kind of green. Green is like health, isn't it? That looks good. Okay, I could change font and things like that. We're not going to do that just now for time. Okay, so we got number 3, but the player also needs to know 3 what. Okay, so let's add another label. And this one we're going to say health, so they know it's health. and we want to set it to the same color we just used. Okay, so now there'll be 3 health, but this label needs to change. So what we will do here is we'll say when the health value changes, set the value of this label. So the label will show what is in here. So you can see down the bottom it says 3 because that's what it is already. Okay, let's go okay. Okay again. They're kind of on top of each other, so we'll just drag them around a bit so the player can see them. Health 3. Okay, good. Now the other thing we want is, well, let's quickly check that works. So here we go, health 3. Oh, I didn't line the 3 up very well, did I? Oh, 1. Ah. Okay, when you get to health 0, you should die, right? So let's just move that down. I didn't like the fact it wasn't very well lined up. Okay. So now what we're going to do is click again on the player, edit, behaviors, and we're going to do in the logic and maths section this thing called a filter. That's like a do something when something happens. So we're going to take the value of health and put it in to the filter, and we're going to say when it is less than 1, because less than 1 is 0. Okay, so what we want to do, what should we do? I think we should restart the game. So they died, they have to start again at the beginning. So on the left here, we have this one called game flow. And here we have the restart game. So we're going to click restart game. There we go. So when the value is less than 1, that's passing, we want it to restart the game. Looking good. Let's give it a go and test it. Okay, here we go. Jump. Okay, my keyboard's a bit sticky. Okay, 1. I've only got 1 health left. Oh no! And the game restarts. Brilliant. Good. So now we have ways the player can die. We have some dangers. We can add spikes where we want. Next time we need to add some rewards and things to collect. And maybe we should add some sound effects.